Budgeting. You either love it or you hate it. You find joy in it or complete anxiety. Anywhere it goes, it is a chore that we all must do. Hello and welcome if you are new, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. In today's video, I am going to be sharing with you my budgeting process for budgeting out extra income that we have received this month and really budgeting out the income that I personally have brought in this month. So we're going to walk through my process for that, and I'll share with you guys how I am spending and saving this extra income. Now do let me know in the comments below whether or not you enjoy the budgeting process or if it's something that does give you complete anxiety. I will tell you guys, I'm kind of in a in-between spot right now. I enjoy budgeting, it's the thing that I like. However, there's other factors going into it that got me totally stressed out. Like, I'm just over it. I'm at this point where I'm like, you know what? If it get paid, it get paid. If it don't, not my problem. But it is my problem. But seriously, it's a whole situation. There's more to it than just numbers on a paper, right? There's so much other emotions that go into the budget. And with that being said, I'm feeling a little resentful with my budget or the budgeting process at the moment. Story for another day. Let's go ahead and get into
So getting myself
video.
set up and organized, the first thing I do is always pull out the budget binder. The budget binder has everything related to the budget, of course. I have my computer here, that way I can pull up the bank accounts, and then also the cash box. Now I'm not going to be stuffing any cash envelopes in this video. I'll do that in a separate video, but I do pull it out just to recount the cash that's in here to make sure that what I think is in here is accurate. And then I transfer those numbers over to paper and budget all of that out. And then of course I have me some good old coffee and a pen here as well. Now what I'm going to do first is that I'm going to look at the budget sheet to make sure that I don't need to take any money out of my income to cover any household bills and so on. I think we're pretty much okay. I believe the hubby income has covered everything so far for this month, so I shouldn't need to take anything out. However, I do always go look at the budget sheet just to make sure that nothing is behind, not paid, and all of that there. So I'm going to pull that up first. Going to go to March is where we are. So this is my monthly budget sheet here, and it's just a quick overview of everything that's going on for the month. And it just helps to keep me on track. I'll do a separate video on this as to how it works for us. Nonetheless, looking at this, we're good. Only bills that it seems that we still have left to pay is the bills for the end of the month. And the hubby still has 2 more checks that should be coming in, so we're good. So the income that I have to budget out today will not be going towards any actual bills, but it will go towards other expenses and so on. All right, so I'm gonna close this up, move it out the way, and then we're going to grab a notebook, because I personally like to use scratch pieces of paper to budget, and I was sitting there getting myself together with all my scraps, and I'm like, that might not work well for a video, so instead, I'm like, okay, let me use a notebook and try to keep things as organized as possible. I keep things easy for myself. I don't like to overcomplicate things. And scrap pieces of paper, like the envelopes you get from, your bill statements, this is just paper gold for me. Like, it makes me so happy just to recycle these pieces of paper here and just write down all the things on it. So anyways, that's what I do. Now, just to let you guys know, I did kind of already start writing out my chicken scratch here. So I'll just be using this to kind of go over and walk you guys through exactly what I do. So hopefully we can see this. Let me zoom in. So the first thing I like to do is write down the total amount of income that I'm working with. That way I can go ahead and take 10% off for our tithe. So we have $3,333.14. It came out to about $333 and some odd cents. So I just round that up to $335, and that's going to be going for our tithe. Then what I like to do here is write down the exact amount of money that I'm working with, and then where that money was earned from, and then where that money is. So whether it was in cash, it's in the bank, it's in PayPal, Zelle, so on and so forth. And actually, I didn't even write down PayPal. Hold on, because I do have funds coming from there. Let me make sure, 312, which is rebate money. Okay, so couponing, rebate. Okay, so I did a yard sale, a stockpile sale the other weekend, and I made a little over $2,000. And again, I just write down how much and then where that money is. So $1,420 in cash, $485.16 in Cash App, and then $196 in Zelle. So that's all from reselling the couponing stockpile. Then YouTube check for the month of February was $997.89. If you don't know, with YouTube, okay, so I was cut off for a second. Someone rang the doorbell and Big Boy Dort started barking. Nonetheless, I think I left off at the YouTube income. Okay, so with YouTube, we are paid a month behind. So all of the work that I did in the month of January, I got that check in February, which was the $997.89. Side note, for those of you that follow me along on the couponing content, I know I say this probably at least once a week, if not more, that I do sometimes be like, girl, YouTube is just not what it is. It ain't, it's just quit. Like I be saying to myself, just quit. And I know you shouldn't be a quitter. Like I know, I get it. But I'm not gonna lie. Like I mentally and emotionally quit YouTube every week. Anyway, say that to say this. I literally made more money within 3.5 hours in my pajamas, drinking coffee, eating donuts, reselling than what I did for an entire month on YouTube. Don't get me wrong, it ain't, and I said ain't, it ain't all about the money. It ain't. However, it's really hard to justify the amount of time that goes into YouTube when it's so easy just to sit in my pajamas, drink coffee, eat donuts, and make more. So, whatever. I'm in my feelings for a second. Moving on. Okay. So, that is that. This is all the money's here. So, let me add this up. And let's see what we're working with here. Okay. So, all I do is use my phone because that is my fancy calculator, so that I can add this up. So we got 1,420. Again, that is cash on hand from the stockpile sale. 485.16. That's in Cash App. 196 Zelle. 997.89 YouTube. That's in the bank. 140 for daycare payments. That's in the bank. And then 320.12. That's in PayPal. And this is rebate money here. This is me cashing out on Ibotta, ShopKick, Swagbucks, Mypoints, etc. Those apps that I utilize with couponing, that is all rebate money there. So we have a total of $3,559.17. And I don't think I zoomed us back in. So let's do that. Okay, it is sometime later. Note to self, recording with a little one is not easy. Let's just say that. I ended up having to write my things over because she got a hold to my pen when I went to fix myself some water, and she did a little doodling. So here we are, we're back. Okay, so where I left off at is what our actual total is for all income here. So what I like to do at this point is I always, with the YouTube, I go ahead and subtract any YouTube expenses. I treat YouTube as a business, and I have certain expenses that go along with that. So I have what I consider just YouTube bills, if you will. It is like different software and other things that I use for the channel. It comes out to like $63 and some change, but I just round that up to $65. And this amount here is just a running balance that I keep in the checking account that is just for the YouTube channel. Just that way, when those bills come out, they come out automatically. There's money there for that.
All right, and then with that, I do also take out for taxes. So I take $125 out for taxes. And then I also take out for equipment expenses. So if I need to purchase a new computer, camera, tripod, or what have you, I'll have money set to the side for that. And then I take out $25 for miscellaneous. And miscellaneous is like, let's just say I wanted to do a giveaway or something, or if I want to purchase, since my channel is mainly couponing related, if I want to purchase extra coupons to do a giveaway, well then I would have funds set to the side to do so. So that is what that is for. All right, so let's subtract that amount. $997.89 minus $65, $125, and then $125. That is $682.89 remaining. There. Now, let me also say this. I know just now I was stating how, like, I'm grateful. I am grateful. Let me just say that I'm so grateful and so appreciative of those of you that are here, that are supporting the channel, that are watching, liking, commenting, sharing, letting ads play, all of that good stuff. I am so, so grateful for all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One thing about me, and if you've been hanging around the channel for any time, you know that I am not full of rainbows and sunshine. Like, it's not who I am. It's not my personality. Little girl, leave that alone. Come here. Come here. It's not who I am. Not saying that I'm a sad person, because I'm not. But I'm realistic. At the end of the day, if anything that I am doing, if anything that you are doing is not benefiting you and your family in any way, then you have to figure out if it's worth continuing doing. Anyways, I said it to say this. I know I was just saying that, look, this is all I made for the month of January from YouTube, and I made more than this just reselling for a couple hours. That is the truth. But I am very thankful and grateful for all of you. This $997 is definitely a blessing, and it will be put to use for my family. So that be that. Don't get me wrong. Don't think I'm sitting here being, ungrateful and blah, 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 because that's not it at all. All right, so what I like to do is just total this up, which is always the same amount, $315. Sometimes I'm able to put in, or I will put in a little bit more towards taxes or equipment into the savings from the YouTube income. It just depends on what's going on and what I need the money for, so on and so forth. So that be that. Okay, so what I'll do here is, and then with the daycare, so with the daycare, I'm only caring part-time for one little one. But I do have school agers that come, and they're part-time too. They're only here in the morning, and then that's it. So with the daycare money, I have just been putting that money straight into the daycare savings account. Not quite sure exactly what I'm going to be doing in the future with the daycare. I'm still just trying to figure that out, if I'm going to open back up as full-time or leave it at part-time. It's just, I don't know. There's a lot going on there. A lot of things that I have to factor in with my own family, blah, 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 blah. So that being said, what I do with the daycare is I just put that into the daycare savings account. I still have to pay taxes for the daycare business. I still have licensing and classes that I have to keep up to keep my license and all of that. So any money that I make, I just put into that account, and anything that I need to take care of daycare related, it will be coming out of the daycare savings account. So that is that. All right, so what I'll do at this point is I'm going to go ahead and subtract my tithe, which is again the $335, and then I'm going to subtract what I have for YouTube, that's $315, and then I'm going to subtract the $140, and that's for the daycare. And that's just going to give me my actual total of what I have income-wise to be working with right now. So $335, $315, and then $140. All right, so that's $769.17. That's the actual amount of monies that I have to work with. And let me zoom you in. Okay, so that's the actual amount of monies that I have to work with there. So now what I'm going to do is just simply subtract my weekly envelope. So we have what I consider weekly cash envelopes. These are just categories that we pull from on a daily basis. So I'm going to go ahead and fund those categories and then see where we are from there. So I'm going to kind of zoom through that so that this video isn't too long. All right, so what we have here is $300 for groceries, $300 for auto gas, $120 for nails and hair. We have a wedding coming up this weekend, so I'm budgeting a little bit extra. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be getting my nails. Well, I'm going to get my nails refilled most likely, but I'm not sure if I'm getting my hair done or not. Anyways, $120, and then we have $100 for gifts. That's for a wedding gift and a birthday gift. And then I'm budgeting $100 in cash for couponing. Now I also have rebates I have money from Fetch Rewards gift cards that I'll also be cashing out of for couponing as well to cover any out-of-pocket expense. But I do also carry a cash balance or cash budget for couponing as well. And then $20 in darts envelope here. So let's calculate all of this and add it up. 300, 120, 100, that's 220. All right, so that's 940. And I just like to write it out on the side, give myself the total, 940. So 940 minus the, or 2,769.17 minus the 940. That gives me $1,829.17. Okay, so from this point, what I'll do since I don't need to cover any bills for this month out of this income, all of this here is going to get funded into our sync funds. Now, with our sync funds, I have them set up as electronic accounts with Capital One 360. And so I have an account for each individual category. Absolutely love Capital One 360 for that reason that you can set up multiple savings accounts underneath the same account and it's free. It makes it so easy to have your sinking funds electronic and have them in separate categories for what you're saving for. Love it, love it, love it. I'll do a separate video down the line on Capital One and our sync funds and all of that. So we're at $1,829.17 left. So at this point, I'm going to pull up the Capital One account to look at my sinking funds account and determine what dollar amount I'm putting into what accounts. Now, I do have some sinking funds that I'm currently funding. For instance, Jada's graduation. She's going to be graduating high school in May. So I'm going to go ahead and finish funding that account for sure, and then from there calculate everything else that needs to be funded. So let me pull up the bank account information. All right, so for Jada's graduation, we're at $330 remaining. Now my budget for her graduation is $1,000. So what I have been doing since the top of the month and really since last year is just been putting a couple dollars away each paycheck or each time we get some money in so that we have that money come graduation time. And of course, as expenses have been coming up, we've just been pulling all of that to take care of her graduation expenses, so on and so forth. Now, we're not sure what we're doing for graduation. If we do a party, $1,000 will be enough to cover a house party and all the, things that go along with that. But we're not sure what we're going to do. We may end up just doing like a small family trip, and if that's the case, then that $1,000 will go towards
the traveling expense and all of that stuff there. So we're still not sure what we're going to do for her graduation, or I should say that she's not sure what she wants to do. Nonetheless, $330 is going to go towards her her graduation fund here. All right, so then from here, I'm going to put $100 in appliance and furniture replacement fund. So that's one of my and forgive my sloppy handwriting. Look, y'all, I don't usually, I write everything out, but I usually write it out on, just like I was saying earlier, a scrap piece of paper, and then it's just easier for me. So for the sake of the video, I'm writing it out here, but you know, chicken scratch is what it is. Okay, so I have a sinking fund for replacing appliances and furniture, because it's not a matter of if I'm going to have to replace it, it's a matter of when I'm going to have to replace it. And then I'm going to put in 100 to home improvement. And let me do this while, that way it's easier. Okay, 330 minus 100 minus another 100. Okay. And then I'm going to put in 100 towards Christmas / vacation fund. All right, and then minus another 100. Okay, and then we're going to put 50 towards new cell phones. New phone fund, and I have a sinky fund just for that. So what did I do? 0.50? No, ma'am. 50. Okay. And then I'm going to do 40 towards Dort's insurance. And if you don't know, Dort is our fur baby, and you know, we do have insurance for him. Okay, so all of that, let's see where we're at. Is that everything? 330 for Jada, appliances, home improvement, Christmas, cell phone, and then Dort. Yes, that's everything. Okay. Mia, put that up. Okay, so that's 720 total. So we're just going to subtract that. Hey, put that up, young lady. Put it up, please. Thank you. Why you messing with my stuff? No. Yeah, you are. Okay. So 720 from the 1,829. That leaves us $1,109.17. Okay. Now, I do have a few other miscellaneous electronic seek funds, but they're good. So I'm not going to fund those. So the remaining balance here, I'm going to put all of that into the new core fund. Because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. The husband's core went out a couple weeks ago. So it's been rough around here. We've been working with just one vehicle. He did go ahead and get a truck maybe 2 weekends ago, if that, maybe 1 weekend ago. Nonetheless, he has a truck now. Story for another day, but he has a truck now. Nonetheless, I'm going to need a new vehicle sooner than later, probably. My truck is well over 20-something years old. And then Jada's going off to college in the fall, so she will need a vehicle as well. So any and all extra money that I can throw into a new car fund is what I'm going to be doing. So that leaves us at zero. All the monies has been budgeted out, given a job, put into a category, put somewhere, if you will. So that is that. That's pretty much how I do in a nutshell when it comes to just budgeting the income that I have and I'm bringing in. Go get the box while you're messing up my cards. And the income that I'm bringing in and what have you. Now, of course, if I needed to give any income to cover house bills, then that would have been worked in here as I have did everything else. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Let me know how you go about budgeting and your feelings on budgeting. Either you love it or you absolutely hate it. One or the other. So with that being said, thank you so very much for joining me today. As always, I appreciate you guys. Again, don't take me the wrong way.
when I am quote unquote complaining, because that's what it is, about what I am making off the YouTube. But real talk is real, and if something isn't serving the purpose of what it needs to be served, then you gotta rethink it. I enjoy YouTube as a content creator. I enjoy YouTube as a consumer of content, and I definitely enjoy sharing couponing and my knowledge in that area. And definitely enjoy having an outlet to talk about couponing, because, well, my kids and my husband can care less. All they care about is that I'm getting their stuff that they want. But anyways, all that to say, I do appreciate all of you and what have you, but being real, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, when I was doing them numbers, I was like, girl, 3.5 hours you put in on one Saturday, girl, and compared to the amount of time and energy and effort you give to YouTube, girl. Good morning, Mason. Okay, with that being said, my family is waking up. You guys have a beautiful and blessed one. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Until then, bye.